Hello students, today we'll be going through a revision session. We'll be going through various topics for your upcoming tests or end of year exam. So don't worry, these questions are very manageable. Let's do this. First question, we'll be looking at indices and we're going to evaluate 1 over 0.4 in brackets, and then we have all of that to the power of 2. So 1 over 0.4 to the power of 2. Alright. So first things first. Since we have the fraction being raised to the power of 2, everything in that fraction is going to be raised to the power of 2. So we're doing it simply like this. So we can basically distribute the power to the 1 and also to the 0.4. which would then in turn give us 1 times 1 over, let me fix that up a little bit, 1 times 1 over 0.4 times 0.4. Alright, beautiful. So that means our answer would be then 1 over, and we're simply going to need to work out this 0.4 times 0.4. So in order to do that, all we have to do, create a little side. So we're going to use this little cloud here to work out 0.4 times 0.4 very quickly and easily. 4 times 4 give us 16. Carry over the 1. 4 times 0, 0. Put down the 1. And then we're finished. Alright. So since we know that the first decimal has 1 decimal place, and then the second decimal that we're multiplying has 1 decimal place also, which means that we have a total of 2 decimal places. Alright. 2 decimal places. So all we are going to do now is ensure that our answer has 2 decimal places. So we'll start from the behind of 6 or the back of 6 and start to move along. So that means our decimal point should be in front of the 1. So our answer is going to be 0.16. Alright. So our final answer for this question will be 1 over 0.16. Quick and easy. Let's look at number 2. 12 to the 5th power plus negative 3 in brackets raised to the power of 5. So all we're going to do now is just take our time and work this out as nice as possible. So 12 to the 5th power, we need to evaluate that so that we'll be able to add it. So all we're going to do, we can expand the 12 to the 5th power by writing it in its simplest form, which is the power of 5 telling us that we're going to multiply the 12 by itself 5 times. So let's do that. 12 times 12 times 12 times 12 times 12. Alright, and that gives us a total of 5 12s in all being multiplied. But then negative 3 raised to the power of 5. We're going to do the same thing. So then we'll have negative 3 written down 5 times, being multiplied by itself. Alright, so we have a total of 5 negative 3's being multiplied by itself. So all we need to do now is evaluate. Alright, so 12 to the 5th power will then equal 248,832. That's a pretty big number. Since we're doing revision, we can just use our calculator to work that out quickly. And then our negative 3, first thing first, we need to decide whether or not it's going to be a positive or negative answer. So negative times a negative gives us positive, times a negative again gives us a negative, times negative again gives us a positive, times negative again gives us a negative. So we have an odd number of negative signs. That means we're going to have a negative answer. Alright, so we already know our sign in front of our number. So what is 3 to the 5th power? Let us find that out. So quickly type that in your calculators so that we can rush through this as quickly as possible. Alright, and then that will be equal to 243. So then if we were to write this back in its original form, which was 12 to the 5th power plus negative 3 to the 5th power, all we're going to do is substitute back these exact values into its places. Alright, so 12 to the 5th power would then be replaced with its exact value, 248,832, and then we have our plus sign, and then our negative 3 to the 5th power replaced with our negative 243. Alright, so in order to work this out, because we have a plus and a negative sign, what happens here is that this will automatically turn to a negative sign, because if you multiply, if you remember the rules of integers, when you have these two signs together, it will then turn to a subtraction sign or a negative sign, whichever you want to use to identify it. And then we put back the numbers. So then our final answer will be 2 minus 3, we can't, so we're going to borrow from the 3, leaving 2, carry over the 1, so we have 12, take away 3, which gives us 9. 2 take away 4, we can't, so we have to borrow from the 8, which leaves 7, carry over the 1, which gives us 12, 12 take away 4, gives us 8. And then 7 take away 2 gives us 5, and then we'll just write back the rest of the numbers since they're not being taken away from anything. Alright, so our final answer is 248,589. Very simple, very easy. Alright, let's move on to fractions. So here we have 4 over 2 QR plus 8 over 2 QR. Do not let the denominators fool you. If you realize they are both the same denominator. So if you remember our rules of fractions when we are adding, once we have the same denominator, all we need to do is put it back and then add the numerators. So that's what we're going to do. So let us go. Alright, so we'll put back our denominator. So all we need to do now is add our numerators. So then our answer is 4 plus 8 would give us 12. And our final answer is 12 over 2 QR. Very easy, very simple. So next, let us move on to our second question, which is 4 and 5 over 9 times 6 and 3 over 4 divided by 3, 2 over 3. So we have basically 3 mixed numbers, and we're going to multiply and then divide. Alright, let's get into this. So first things first, all we're going to need to do is change the mixed numbers into improper fractions to make it a little bit easier for us. Alright, so then 9 times 4 plus 5, 6 times 4 plus 3, 3 times 3 plus 2. Nine times 4 give us 36, plus 5 give us 41. Then 6 times 4 plus 3 will give us 27 over 4. Then 3 times 3 plus 2 will give us 11. And then we put that over 3. Alright, so now we're going to work. So we could have simply multiplied the first two fractions, but let's just put everything to multiplication. Alright, so if you remember our keep, change, flip, so let's look at 27 over 4 divided by 11 over 3. So we're going to ignore the 41 over 9 for now, and then we're going to use that keep, change, flip. Keep the first fraction, which is 27 over 4. Change the division sign to multiplication, and then flip or reciprocate our second fraction, which is 3 over 11. Alright, so then we can have back 41 over 9 in our focus, and we're going to multiply all three fractions at once. So we're going to check if we can simplify before we continue. So yes, we can simplify. So 9 to itself goes one time, 9 to 27 goes 3. Anything else can be simplified? Let us see. No, nothing else can be simplified at this time. So then we'll have 41 multiplied by 3 multiplied by 3. Alright, and then 4 multiplied by 11. So that will in turn give us 369 over 44. Very simple. Alright, and since this is an improper fraction, we're going to convert it and change it back into a mixed number. Alright, all we need to do is check how many times 44 can go into 369. Which is 8 times. So now we need to find out our remainder. So then when we check our remainder, we should get 17, which will be placed as our numerator, and that is our final answer. 8 then 17 over 44. Alright,